There's still a gap between what the Republicans seem to want and what you propose.
Yeah.
How do you get to the middle on that?
I don't think you do. I mean, I've gone as far as I know how to go and have a clear conscience about being responsible on the essential services.
What did you think about
the big deal? The big non-starter on this is Medicaid. And like I told John, he said, you use one-time money for ongoing programs. I said, sure we do. We always do. We're doing it right now with docket coordinators or trial court assistants. But you don't supplant GR. You supplement GR.
How far away are the two of y'all right now with any kind of agreement? How would you describe where things are?
Well, what I kept hearing from them over and over again was a huge basic philosophical disagreement on the biggest part, 2/3 of the total $21 million, the $14 million on Medicaid. And I said, we got a problem coming. And I've been telling you this for years. In fact, the press has asked me, I told them about y'all. I said, the press has asked me, I keep saying this, and am I not crying wolf? Because I told you 2 years ago we're going to have a $60 million shortfall this year, and we didn't. So I said, well, that's because, utilization wasn't as high as what they predicted. I hope that goes forward. I hope that the crying wolf a year from now, and $300 million or so, is way too high, and it's not going to be realized. But I got to go with the numbers they give me. And I don't think they're inflating them. I hope they're inflating them because I hope it's not that bad a deal. But I got to presume, because it's the best evidence I've got, if that's the case, all we're doing with Mr. Burris's proposal is exacerbating that problem. Instead of a $300 million shortfall, if you remove $14 million from ongoing money, then that shortfall becomes $314. Well, it's going to be bad enough. There are going to be huge cuts because I don't think you're going to see tax increases. There are going to be huge cuts somewhere in Medicaid going forward, even with the $14 million staying in there. It's just going to add to the burden and increase it by $14 million if you take ongoing GR out. That was a basic philosophical difference. And I never understood where they were coming from to try to replace ongoing obligations and ongoing money with one-time money and how that helped anything. So that gets back to the supplement versus supplant, supplement versus replace, to put it another way. And replacing ongoing money and ongoing programs with one-time money is something you better do with a pretty good plan, not permanently.
Do you expect the RSA resolution to pass in the House today?
I don't know. I mean, you'll have to ask them. I had made the comment that based on where things were a day or two ago, I didn't think it passed the first time. But I think that they have all decided they don't want to hold this session up. So my information is they're going to pass it, but we'll see.
What are your thoughts on what he sent to you?
We think there's room for more. We've had some productive discussions. I just feel like we're probably approaching it from two different perspectives at this point. We think there's room. We provided a list of where those savings can be realized. We ran an amendment budget this morning that would have saved $275,000 out of dues that are paid for on behalf of legislators and organizations. That was voted down in committee. And so we've been trying. We know there's room for compromise. That's always the hope. At this point, though, it's looking, I'm not as optimistic as I was before.
What do you think happens at this point? RSA comes up for a vote again this afternoon?
The resolution comes up for a vote, and then I think we'll probably pass that, but it's not the end of the process at all. We still have to concur on the Senate resolution, and a bill still has to be filed. So it's still very early, but we're at the point where we've got to probably take step one despite not being where we want to be.
So how do you feel about the process? Do you feel like it's moving along, or do you feel like it's...
No, I don't think we're making progress. The conversation's been fine. Like I said, they're not, they're good discussions, but I just think we're probably rooted in two different perspectives, and whether or not we're willing to come to the middle and figure out a way to agree and compromise, and I hope that's the case for them as well.